Dave has been reading The Way of Kings. We've been forcing him to read it, and he has finally finished part two
I
of The Way of
apologize.
Kings.
I apologize. It took me so long, guys. I took a week off and then I took another week off.
But Dave, can you explain why you don't want to rush this? Because I think this helped me.
I'm taking notes and I'm making sure that I'm understanding relationships. I'm trying to build the map in my head and
Mind you,
region.
this man has only read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules.
Not just that one. I've read like the first 4 books.
And I and I think your approach here is actually the way to do this.
Okay.
Because I did not shotgun blast these books. I read a chapter a night and I just enjoyed. I just sank into the world, chapter at a time, and I just looked forward to the end of my night where I would be like, okay, time to open the book, turn my lamp on, get ready to go to bed, spend 30 minutes in Roshar, then close the book, go back to bed.
Okay.
So I think the way you're handling this is good because this is why I love it.
I did shotgun blast these books. I
And-
finished all three. Well, there were only 3 out at the time. When I
Haven't
was
you
reading
read
them.
through all of them like 3 times now?
I've read the first 2 3 times.
Just so insane to me.
I read Oathbringer twice, and I have only read Rhythm of War and Wind and Truth once. So I started Rhythm of War again, but this is what I love is hearing your thoughts and what you're getting out of it.
I've had to like re-listen to chapters because I listen to this while I'm working and like something will happen and I lose my train of thought and I'm not listening to it, and then something happens and I'm like, oh fetch, who the heck is this character? So I have to go back and just so that's another thing. It's like this thing does take longer. I'm gonna say this. Part 2 only being Dalinar and Kaladin
Yeah.
made this so much better because part 1 I dreaded the Shallan chapters. And spoiler, I finished the interludes at the end of part 2 going to part 3. Part 3 opens up part 3, the dying. And then it said Kaladin and Shallan. And I'm like, the dying, that's what I'm going to be doing through all of part 3. Every time Shallan.
Yeah, it does. No Dalinar chapters. In
No,
part
it's
3.
it's Kaladin and Shallan in
Okay.
part 3. So I thought I was eating good, and I was with Dalinar.
But those Kaladin chapters, man.
Yeah, Kaladin
Okay,
has
so
just got...
let's break this down character by character because Dalinar and Kaladin have not met yet.
No.
So
They are close, though. Like, in proximity, they are really close.
Okay, so let's bust through Kaladin's arc real fast. Actually,
fetch.
I want to talk about Kaladin last. Let's go to Dalinar.
So
Let's get your thoughts.
the way I take my notes, they're chapter by chapter.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
separate them by characters. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Just give
Okay.
your thoughts.
So at the top, the first chapter, we're introduced to Dalinar. We learn he's the uncle of the king,
Elokar.
Elokar. Yes, I think it's Elokar. He's got 2 sons,
Yep.
Adolin, and
Renarin.
Renarin. And they're all high princes, and then obviously the king of it's Alethkar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there's like a bunch of stuff about
Alethkar.
There's a bunch of like politics going on, talking about relationships, how Dalinar used to be known as the Black Thorn. He's often described and referred to as a old war hero, a warlord. The dude used to be great, but he's not great now. And they kind of sprinkle hints as to why he's more subdued now, and a lot of it has to do with that night that Gavilar was assassinated. We learned that Dalinar was present, but he was drunk, and I'm jumping around because I have thoughts about stuff that came up. So there was a giant chasm thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. We got some action with shardblades.
Yep.
And
10 heartbeats. I told you.
Yep, the
that
10
chapter
heartbeats
will happen.
Yep, 10 heartbeats. I learned some names. Oathbringer is Dalinar's shardblade, and then Sunraiser is Elokar's. There's a book on this bookshelf that says Oathbringer on it.
That's Dalinar's book.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, you should be because it's freaking awesome.
Like when I read this chapter and we came and filmed last week, and I said that says Oathbringer. That's the name of a sword.
Yep.
Oh dang. There was a reference to 10 fundamental glyphs being etched in a shard blade. And I remember learning this in part one that the women are the ones who read and write. The men only learn glyphs. And it's like, it's not heretical, it's taboo for men to read.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like heretic, they need to die. It's just taboo. It's like, gemhearts. This is when I started, because they touched on it a little bit in part one when Kaladin was with the Bridge 4, where he was like, what the heck are they capturing? We learn, I questioned, like, what is a gemheart? And so if you go further down, we'll get there. They name dropped the title of the book. They referred to an ancient text called The Way of Kings. And so my theories were just like, does this have anything to do with the beginning of the chapters where people, it's like something's quote somebody said before they died, and then it notes.
Who is the author of The Way of Kings again?
They haven't talked about it. But The Way of Kings, in there, it talks a lot about how kings or high princes shouldn't be drunk or like, be under the influence of hard drink. And that night that Gavilar was assassinated, Dalinar was, unfortunately. And so that's where a lot of his guilt is coming from, is he wasn't there to protect his brother.
And do you know why Dalinar was like drunk all the time?
No.
You don't know that yet.
No.
You haven't had like he's gonna say a name and it's like shh, like it's like he can't hear this name.
No.
Okay.
Very interesting. There's some back and forth between Sadeas and Dalinar, referring to what he said that night and what he wrote that night. And it's like this really big secret, but it's revealed that King Gavilar wrote. He wrote, and that's a big deal because men don't write in this universe. So I'm like, oh, very interesting. It must have been really important. Elhokar, the son of Gavilar, the current king, is paranoid. So he likes to present himself as stoic, heroic, badass. I'm a man, I'm a king. But he's actually really paranoid of being assassinated. It might have something to do with the fact that his dad was assassinated. So there's probably some trauma there. I don't think Elhokar, they haven't talked about Elhokar being present for that. So I don't think like he witnessed his dad being assassinated or anything. But yes.
I will say Elhokar is an interesting character.
What the heck?
That's all I'll say.
High Prince of War. There was a discussion between Elhokar and Dalinar in private where Dalinar was talking about breaking some pact, abandoning a pact, and calling Dalinar as the High Prince of War, because Dalinar isn't really interested in trying to get rich from war. He just wants to end this. Whereas all the other high princes, they're like, oh, I've captured more gemhearts. No, I've captured more gemhearts. And I learned a lot about the economics of this war in the Shattered Plains, where it's like if you have more gemhearts, then you have more shards to spend on soul casting, better materials for this and that. So it was really interesting because I didn't think I'd be able to go that deep into it. But the fact that B. Sandy has broken it down for me and I'm able to understand like where it's going is quite nice. I appreciate that. The Way of Kings, linked to the missing radiance. There was a reference to Dalinar because it's I wouldn't say it's taboo, but the other high princes don't follow the Way of Kings. Dalinar does, and he's raising his two sons to follow it as well. I think it was Sadeas that talked about, no, maybe it was Adolin that brought it up.
Adolin does, like, he holds a little bit of resentment.
Yeah, so I think it was Adolin that brought it up about how it had something to do with the missing radiance. They've talked about the ancient priests or the ancient church and how man, I can't believe I forgot it because I remember hearing it and I didn't write anything down. But there was something about in the past, there were prophecies and stuff that there was a church and the church ended up being false, or the way they were going about things was wrong. And there was a big apostasy of sorts where like the church was disbanded and like a new one took its place. and that somehow is tied to the Radiance. And apparently the Radiance, it's at this point, it says that the book was linked to the missing Radiance. Later on, I think I wrote down something about how the Radiance betrayal really confused me, because I'm pretty sure these Radiants are those guys in the prologue that were all leaving their swords. And that didn't seem like a betrayal to me, at least in the way it was framed there. So something's going on. That had to have been a long time ago for something to be influenced for them to think it's a betrayal.
4,000 years.
Yes, that's a lot of time for people to just change it. So I personally don't think that the Radiance betrayed anything. I am curious how they went missing, but Raffo, and I'm probably not going to find out until book 4.
5.
Fetch you. Dalinar gets time travel visions during high storms.
Yep.
And I wrote down, are these high storms connected to the old Knights of Radiant? Were these high storms present 4,000 years ago?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that these visions, he's talking to the guy that wrote the Way of Kings, right?
No.
No?
Well,
Who is he talking to then?
That's
He's talking
why
to the Stormfather.
that didn't get revealed yet.
Nah, I mean, he knows he's talking to like a being.
Well, yeah, it didn't get revealed who it is. Mystery Man voice in the vision. Is this man similar to the godlike knights from the prologue? Act with honor, and honor will aid you. That's what he told him, and then the vision faded out.
Oz, you're making that up.
That he's only had one vision so far.
Yeah, this was. They were.
I'm gonna just do one of these numbers real quick.
Yeah, just forget I said that.
I'll probably forget. I was really interested in this vision because there were these night creatures called Midnight Essence, and then. Guys, I'm ignoring it. Stop talking about it. It's okay. They talked about fighting stances, and I wrote down it was really similar to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
Like the wind stance, the earth stance. Yes, I did like that quote, act with honor, and honor will aid you. Kaladin was trained by his father to be a surgeon, like his dad was a surgeon. So there was a lot of flashback chapters where Kaladin, it was something about there's two types of people, those who take lives and those that save lives. And Kaladin's like, can't I take life to save a life? Like just this conflict. He's always wanted to be a soldier, but his dad's like, no, you're going to be a surgeon. So that would be why he's so good at saving men, is because he's got a huge medical background. Kaladin is taking on a leadership role with Bridge 4 at this point in my notes. He's trying to mold the Bridge 4 into more than just the highest turnover rate, the highest death rate bridge out of all of them. This isn't Sadius. Who is it? Sadius? I forget who they said the High Prince was that they're working under.
Oh no, it is.
It is Sadius.
Yeah, that's not
because
a spoiler.
Dalinar
It is
doesn't
Sadius.
use bridge crews. He uses the bridges style siege things,
Which are slower.
They're
And,
slower.
and I gotta ask, do you fetching hate lighteyes?
yeah,
Because when you're in Cal's perspective, I fetching hate like lighteyes.
yeah.
I'm like, nah, dude, fetch these guys. Like, I'm with Cal 100%.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any of them get any joy. They're
I-
all bad.
I can't wait to see Dalinar and Kaladin interact, because Dalinar is a light eye. No, he's not a light eyes.
No, he is.
But he didn't grow up as a light eyes.
No, he did.
Who's the one that is a light eyes currently but didn't grow up as one? I got introduced to one and I forgot his name. I thought it was Dalinar.
I don't remember.
Fetch. I'll figure it out. I learned about Rock. Rock is dope. I like Rock.
Rock is great.
He can
Teft
see,
is great.
He can see Syl. I like Teft.
You like Moash?
Nah, I don't think I've gotten much Moash.
Okay.
Teft started talking more towards the end of part 2, and I'm starting to get a little more of him. But Rock has done a lot more talking than Teft. Like I feel like
Teft is like Cal's right hand man.
Rock is like the heart. Teft
Okay.
is like the right hand.
So
I would say. I think that's accurate, right?
Where I'm
Yeah.
at the end of part 2, beginning of part 3, Teft, he's just barely started talking, and right now it's really just Teft, Cal, and Rock. but Rock has been definitely the more hard. I feel like I've grown attached to him more.
I think I agree with like originally like the first book because Teft. No, I'm not gonna say anything. But
Like I'm sure Teft will come in more because he named his freaking dog after this guy, so this guy is obviously going to be a great character. I'm just waiting.
Don't expect a lot.
Yeah.
Like Teft is just like I just like Teft as a character.
Okay.
Don't expect him to be like a big deal.
Okay.
What do you think about Syl?
I like Syl. Syl's been growing on me. I think it's really interesting that she's a Spren with a consciousness. Is that how you can describe? She's not like other Spren.
Yeah. Again, you'll find out.
Yeah.
But you like her?
Yep. Rock can see her. That's pretty cool. Rock is basically Pacific Islander.
Rock is a horn eater, so
I-
he can see these.
I still don't understand what horn eaters are. I know they like live in the mountains, and that's like all I know about them.
We will be getting a horn eater novella
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'll be reading that. When?
about Rock.
Oh, it's
Novella.
Rock's book.
It's
Nice.
Rock's story after Oathbringer or Rhythm of War. Whenever he like goes,
Sanderson, this is to you.
doesn't die. He doesn't die. I'm not
Sanderson,
saying that.
if you kill Rock in this book,
Oh, he won't kill Rock. Anyway, what else?
Sorry. I was gonna say Rock is really similar to Royd from.
Yeah.
That's very
I think
similar.
that is
Yeah,
a
I think
good-
that's why I like him so much because I'm like I really like Royd. There was a king's feast. It was very elegant. It was talking a lot about the way it was structured, very similar to their
oh,
homeland.
you met Wit.
Yes.
The flute.
Wit was actually introduced before this feast, but he did. Oh, excuse me. He went and did a lot of banter.
Has the flute scene happened yet?
No.
Okay.
Is this the one where he's like making fun of like
Everybody
Sadius
coming
and...
in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
he's making fun of everybody sitting on a high
So,
stool.
Dave, this is a character. Wit his name is Hoyd. This is not a spoiler. Hoyd is like in all of the Cosmere.
So, you
Hoyd,
know Patches?
Patches.
from
Dark
Dark
Souls?
Souls.
Yeah.
He's like that, but like a good guy.
Okay.
Well,
We don't know.
think.
We
Actually,
don't
we
know.
don't know.
We don't know.
That's a good point.
We have to assume
He
Hoyd
only has
is
good interactions with our characters.
Yeah. But Hoyd is a character that throughout all of the Cosmere, he's in Mistborn, he's in all of the standalones, he's in obviously Stormlight. So Hoyd is important. We don't know why yet, but he is.
Okay. So Wit is an important character.
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes by Wit in this book,
In
but
this
he goes
book.
by Hoyd in everything else.
Okay. Radiance betrayal. They talked about the Radiance betraying the people. Blah blah blah. Rock. He's there to get a shard blade. He wasn't a slave, and he was talking a little bit about his culture. And he was actually a cook. He was his cousin's cook. And when his cousin lost, he gave up his possessions, being Rock, and Rock cooked for Sadius, High Prince Sadius, and he put poop in his soup because
Yeah.
he was like, the food is really like spicy and stuff, so he put some poop in it, and Sadius didn't like it. I was like, it's pretty cool. The Bridge Four are they're on chasm duty, and they're all singing. I think that's the Morash is the guy who's no. He's a younger guy.
Open?
He's singing. He's like a younger guy who started singing in the chasm.
To Sigil?
No.
Singing in the chasm?
Yeah. He's like singing songs in the chasm while they're all checking bodies and stuff. And I learned about the Parshmen.
Yeah.
Yes. The Parshendi. They grow armor. That's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah. Have you met one yet?
No.
Okay.
Not like they've described them and how they've got like gems in their beards and stuff, but I still don't know.
But there is a Parchman on Bridge 4, right?
No, not yet.
Oh.
Maybe there is, and he's just not talking. Because right now, Bridge 4 is like barely opening up. Right now, it's still just Rock, Teft, and Cal being the primary speakers, and then Gaz. I fetch and hate Gaz. I hope he falls off a cliff and fetch and dies. Fetch that guy. His one eye. They're down there and they're not believing that Kaladin used to be a warrior before this, a soldier before this, and he tried to keep that a secret when they're all talking about their pasts. And Kaladin like ends up like just falling into old habits, and he picks up a spear and starts hitting like little poses and stuff in front of everybody. And the book said this, and I put it in quotes because this was a badass freaking line. You should not be shocked when you give Kaladin Stormblessed a spear. I was like, dang.
Spear is Cal's weapon of choice, baby.
Dang. I've never been a spear guy, but Kaladin makes me like spears.
Yep.
Dalinar thinks he's going crazy. Before, he was really listening to these storm visions he was having, but he's actually starting to think that he is going senile. This was after a raid that they did.
Sign me back in.
And Adolin is like, maybe you shouldn't be listening to these visions because maybe they're not real and whatnot. Got to learn about this weird telecommunication board that they were using, like gemstones and stormlight to essentially have some female scribe at Dalinar's camp communicate with Yasna, which is freaking dope. They were like riding back and forth to each other, which is pretty dope. I didn't know they had that type of tech. That's just magic. That's just storm light.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That has like a specific name too, right?
I didn't pick up on the name.
It's okay.
Story of how Dalinar discovered the Parshendi. Gavilar. Yes, not Dalinar. Gavilar. Chasm fiends. At this point, they were talking about, or at least Yasna was talking about the chasm fiends in her studies. The drawing of the chasm fiends, she said that it matched pretty similarly to voidbringers of old ancient texts. So I'm like, oh, maybe the voidbringers are back.
So you think that the voidbringers are the chasm fiends?
They could be, or some evolution of them.
Okay.
Just in my, this is me putting on like a tinfoil hat and just predicting what's going to happen based off of all of the other forms of media, all the other stories I've heard outside of this, just, common tropes. I think they are voidbringers, or like a new version of voidbringers.
I want to say, I think you're asking the right questions again. Like, you have consistently been asking the right questions.
And I promise you guys, I'm not like throwing this stuff into chat and
No.
Getting summaries. Like, these are all just the way I'm thinking about it. And I'm not that this book has too many common tropes. It's just, this is just how my mind's like piecing things together as I move forward. So I will.
Okay, so where are you currently? What chapter are you in?
Chapter, whatever the first chapter of part 3 is. It's a Shallan
Can you
chapter.
check that?
You will get to a part where you will not be able to stop.
Yeah, that's exactly 34 through 36.
34 through 36.
Those are the chapters where you're going to be like, okay.
So I'm on 29.
Yeah, dude, you're fetching right there. Okay, so
Storm Wall.
34, 35, 36.
Those are some short chapters.
By the end of 36, let me just double check real quick.
Yeah, part 3 is huge, though.
Because in these chapters,
That's another Zeth chapter.
this is the point where you're going to go, oh fetch, this is happening. Okay, hold on. Yep. Okay, so by the end of 35, that's the one.
I'm trying to think of... It happens that early?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're thinking of the same thing, right?
Let me just...
Oh, I did finish those interludes as well. Just wanted to throw this out. Didn't really care much.
Don't look, Dave.
I'm not. Didn't really care much for Interlude
that is
4
cool.
and Interlude 5. Interlude 5 kind of expanded my knowledge a little bit on Spren. Still really interesting things. I'm kind of just learning to go with it. It doesn't make sense, but who cares? And then Interlude 6, a work of art. This is a Zeth chapter, a Zeth interlude. He's going and trying to kill. I'm trying to remember who, because I was reading it on the way here. But he gets there, and he's trying to assassinate some guy for his current Oathstone bearer, his current master. And somebody is there, beat him to the kill, and he's like hyping Zeth up, you know, like, oh, you're capable of so much greatness, and it turns out that this guy in the shadows that's talking to Zeth, he's masked, and he's got like a gem next to the oath stone on his like chain, and he's like, my master has like some things that we need you to do, and he's like, well, blah blah, blah, you're not my master, this person is, and he rolls his old master's head in front of him, and then he like shows the oath stone, and then he hands him a list of like really powerful people, and he's like, okay, so yeah, once you kill them in this specific way, then come back and we've got more for you. And Zeth is like man, this is one of those things where it's like the things that I'm interested in the most are in these like little outside chapters that aren't a part of the main book.
That's so interesting to me.
That'll change.
And I'm gonna I want to know more about Zeth. I want to know more about these Radiants. And it's like I'm being told, oh no, that's like later in the series. And I'm like, fetch.
Journey before destination, brother.
Yeah. But Zeth, in the beginning, I was like, man, this guy's a bastard. He killed the king, and he's an awful person. But after this interlude, I'm like, oh no, Zeth is actually a really good person, because it talks about how like he would purposefully, if he had a choice, he would only take the assassination contracts or like do the assassinations where he didn't have to kill any guards, because it was less bloodshed that way, because he doesn't like bloodshed. I'm like, wow, what a tragic character.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's part 2. It was kind of all over the place.
Part 3, dude. Once, I'm not even kidding, once you get to 35, I'm expecting a bunch of texts from you saying this is freaking awesome, and that is when you're going to be bored.
Based off of my reading habits, I might get there midday Monday, or early Tuesday.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
Okay.
Because it's awesome, and you only get that experience once.
Okay. I need to preface, I've been spacing myself out, except for like the last like 10 chapters of part 2. We made an agreement where Oz wouldn't play a game with us if I didn't finish part 2, so I just like I churned it out. I can't do that anymore, man. Like I hit a stopping point where like I just like I'm like like I have to stop listening to the book and like take a second to just breathe and collect my thoughts before I go back into it. 'Cause I'm a simple human being, you know. Going from Diary of the Wimpy Kid to The Way of Kings is quite the jump.
So I am curious to see what happens when you get to 34.
You will see.
You're going to be hooked.
Bye.